Right, okay, just over my left shoulder here is our final chippy along the Costa Blanca. It's been lovely. Look at this weather. Yeah, sure, there's a few little clouds in the sky, but it's not rained. And it's been a nice cool breeze to go on top. I say cool breeze, a breeze will do. But our favourite place where we think we could settle was a place called Ciudad Quesada. Now, we did like a few other places, Javier and Calpe, quite a few other places. But for pure community, now you'll find that people go, oh yeah, but you know, you're going to hang around with all the Brits in a British area. Well, people do that, don't they? You get the French hanging around with the French, you get the Germans with the Germans, the Spanish with the Spanish. You get people who can relate to other people, maybe even live near them back home, who want to be part of that too. And that's just the way it is. It's that community. And no matter where you live in any other part of the world, you've got people from India coming over to the UK and living in a predominantly Indian area. And the same with lots of them, Pakistani areas. And I think that's the way we would go if we were to live here, which we would love to do. Fish and chips, regardless. People say, oh, the prices of this, prices of shopping these days, prices of gas and electric these days. Sure, that everything's gone up, costs have gone up. Small businesses like Chippies, I know, are being hammered, unfortunately. And it's just something I think is a bit of you call me a conspiracy theorist, but I don't think the government likes small businesses. They certainly don't like the idea of people getting cash of any kind. And, and there are some chippies like that. And you can pay cash or card in most. And they don't like it. So I do worry about the fish and chip industry. That's why I set up the Chippy Tour. That's why we review incognito, find out which ones are the best. I'm rabbiting on a little bit here. I can't help myself. Sue's in the chippy, getting our fish and chips. They don't know they're being reviewed because the chippy's at the back, from way back from the window, right round the corner. And Sue will keep them busy up there until we've been served, and then she'll come over here and do this. Right, okay, we've got all sorts going on here. I have to be more gentle, won't I? What's that? It's like a tray. We've got a little bit of tartar. We've got their in-house coleslaw, in-house mushy peas. Okay. We've got big fish, but hang on a second. What have we got in here? We've got chips, and they do look nice. They do look nice. We'll put that to one side there. This must be the in-house Thai fish cake. And they both look very different. Oh, it's just the way they are. So let's have a little cut one of them in half. How did we end up with two?
It's two in the portion.
Two in a portion?
Yeah.
Well, straight away, there's fish. There's a little bit of skin to show us that. Chunky bits of fish. Potato. Let's bust it open. Let's have a look at their coleslaw. Well, that looks chunky, doesn't it? You know what? I'm surprised at well, I shouldn't be surprised at the quality of the chippies. There's got nice chunks of vegetables in there. Back to this fish cake. There's all kinds of things going on in there. There's chili, some lemongrass, some parsley. It's a nice crispy outer on that. Yeah, that's probably one of the best Thai fish cakes I've had. So let's get stuck into this stuff. Now that's for the lard cod. And that is large. It's holding a bit of the oil on first glance. Yeah, it's just holding on to that oil a bit, but it's got a nice flavour to it. It can be very hard to review these chippies abroad because people like things different ways. They want to taste from home. They want to taste of fish and chips. And other things too, like battered. Anything battered, to be honest with you. Black pudding, white pudding, red pudding, pineapple, anything. I break open this thick a bit at the end here. Look how thick that is. That's a nice bit of cod, that. That's a nice bit of cod in there. There's some more salt and vinegar on here. Look at it. And you do have options for having your cooked fish, your fish cooked here. You can have it floured, lightly floured. Now this fillet has been battered. And the fillet is basically steamed. It's not fried. It's steamed inside the batter. The batter hardens quickly. And that leaves a crust around the fish and it's steamed. So you can have it battered, you can have it floured, and in which case it won't get that steaming. It'll shrink, it'll pull in. So the same size fillet will look smaller, more than likely, still getting the same fish, amount of protein and everything else. And sometimes I do like a floured fish. You can also have it poached if you wish. Let's give some of this tartar sauce a go. That's okay. I'd like it to have been a little tartier, with more of a taste of the capers, and more of it, because it is nice, like I say. Let's have a little look at the mushy peas. Okay. Give it a bit of a stir up. There we go. With that thick pea soupy kind of texture, flavour. Yeah, that's okay. It's a decent sized portion too. Now they're not holding the oil in any way. They're a nice chip. Let's get some more salt on there. I want to make the most of this because we've got 3.5 hour drive now towards the centre of Spain on our way home. You know I like mine paler. Not paler than that, but pale. With a nice firm inside without being too firm, crispy edges on them. Have a look at some reviews. A low one, somewhere in the middle, a high one. I'll write mine eventually when we get home. See you there. 1,700 miles to get back home, and 4 different stops along the way to give us a break. But anyway, we did stock up at this one. We did fill up. I felt sleepy straight afterwards. I always do after a big meal. 1 star. The child is very nice, but the mother with the data phone next to her tells me that the second bar in the same area that tells me the same thing does not accept cards. I don't know. I mean, I paid by card on that one. I don't know. I can't quite work that out. 5 star. This place was fabulous. The portions of food was well worth the money. The cod, bacala. Yeah, I never really gave it much of a thought. Is that
Is that Spanish for cod? Was well tasty. But then that seems a bit strange. Doesn't that sound very English then? The batter was perfect and the cheesecake was the best I've had in the whole of Spain. Its biscuit base was so crunchy, it was unreal. Total 5-star for me. I will also add, I've read some of the bad reviews about this place and will tell you delivered food is never the same as freshly cooked. So go and eat there. There's plenty of tables and the staff are very nice. It is. Delivery can be a killer, not just because of the quality of the food that could end up there at home, but sometimes the delays, sometimes not because of the shop, because of the delivery service. And then they get a bad review because of it. And they may have, let's say a shop has all 5-star reviews and then they take on a delivery service. That's crap. And the delays are long and the food ends up either cold or battered when it gets there, knocked about, and they get the bad reviews. The delivery services are a funny one. They can make and they can actually break a really good business. Mine, 4-star. The Chippy was recommended to me, so I had to give it a try. This was our final review of 8 chip shops on the Costa Blanca during this trip. So we bought a little extra to keep us going for the drive across Spain and France. The staff seemed busy and the shop was clean and tidy. There was, of course, the takeaway option, as well as the choice to eat inside or outside under a canopy, which was a nice touch. A large car park sits across the road, with additional parking spaces along the street, so no issue there. The chips were quite nice, thick and plentiful. The large cod came in 2 pieces that didn't seem connected in any way, but they were nice, big, chunky pieces, and was both chunky and tasty, though the batter was holding on to a little too much oil. The in-house coleslaw was good with generously shredded vegetable. The mushy peas were thick and delicious, served in a reasonably large tub. The in-house Thai fish cakes were also tasty, packed with lots of familiar and flavourful ingredients. Cooking in oil, payment cash or card, fish review, cod. So we're back in the UK now. So that'll be for some time. Who knows when we'll end up getting the blood again. It's not going to be this year anyway. So we'll be covering lots more chippies at home and far and wide at home. So see you on the next one.
The Chippy Tour, cruising the coast, can't ignore. With every bite, I'm loving it more. Saving the chippies, that's what I'm for. Yo, I hit the road, got salt in my veins. From London to Scotland, through sunshine and rain. Fish and chips in my hand, it's a noble quest. Supporting the classics, yeah, I'm doing my best. Met a bloke in Troon with a tempura squid. A castle in Wales where I had my bid. From mushy peas to battered Mars bar. A culinary Johnny, I'm a food rock star. I'm the Chippy Tour, tasting it all. Beef fritter scraps, yeah, I answer the call. Savory scallops, deep fried dreams, keeping chippies alive, that's my team. Biggest fish, battered sausage on a roll. Fish cakes so good they'll nourish your soul. Squid so crispy, prawns in a crunch. A battered mushroom makes the perfect brunch. Deep fried pizza, yeah, wacky delight. Curry sauce pouring tartar inside. But every shop story, it cuts kinda deep. As chippies fade away, it's hard not to weep. Oh, the landscapes I see, the people I meet. Seaside towns, cobble streets under my feet. The ups and downs, but I'll never despair. Gotta cherish these treasures, handle with care. On the Chippy Tour.